The night was loud with the sound of running feet. A boy darted through the trees, his laughter echoing between the trunks like a taunt to the darkness. "Come on," he shouted, breathless but fearless. "Are you all scared of stories?" His friends followed behind, their torches flickering wildly as they reached the edge of a stream that shimmered silver beneath the moonlight. That was Jack. The one everyone said was born without fear. The one his mother warned, "You will laugh your way into trouble one day." Jack laughed louder now, crouching beside the stream. "This is it," he said. "The Imadu stream, the cursed one." His friend Kofi stepped back. "Jack, don't. The elders said this place is just water." Jack interrupted, scooping a handful up. "Water doesn't bite." But as the moonlight hit the rippling surface, a strange reflection appeared. Not his face, but the shadow of a crown, cracked in half. "Did you see that?" Kofi whispered. Jack grinned. "I saw my reflection, that's all." Then, before anyone could stop him, he drank. The forest went silent. Even the crickets stopped singing. "Let's go." Another boy said, "Let's go now." But Jack just smirked and stood tall. "See, no curse, no beast, just me." He turned to leave, and for a moment the shadow of the trees seemed to twist and bend around him. That night, the moon rose red, a color it had not shown in years. Back in the village, Jack lay in his bed restless. His skin burned, his heart pounded like thunder. He gasped, clutching his chest. The whispers started, low, angry, ancient. Blood for blood, rage for rage. He screamed. Bones cracked, flesh tore. His hands curled into claws. His vision turned gold and wild. The boy named Jack was gone. What rose in his place was a creature born of fury. The curse of the Mad King had returned. By dawn, the forest smelled of blood chickens torn apart. Footprints, huge, clawed, marked the ground. Villagers gathered in fear, whispering, "The beast of Imadu is real again." And from that day, no one walked after sunset days turned to weeks. The beast ruled the night. He howled beneath the moon, his cry half sorrow, half hunger. Hunters went after him, but none returned. They said the beast tore through them like paper. Others said he mourned after every kill. They didn't know. Deep inside that creature, Jack was still there, trapped in a body he couldn't control. Screaming to wake up, then came Amber, the daughter of the healer, a voice soft as morning rain, the one everyone said could make a crying child smile and calm an angry man with just a few words. She didn't believe in curses. "A curse only has power if we give it fear," she used to say. One evening, while fetching herbs for her mother, she lost track of time. The sun slipped beneath the trees and the air turned cold. She hurried down a path, only to trip and fall. Her ankle twisted, her dress torn. She looked around. The forest was silent, too silent. Then she heard it. The growl. Deep, throaty, close, Amber froze. From behind the trees, two golden eyes gleamed. The beast stepped forward, its fur dark as midnight, its breath fogging in the cold. Amber's voice trembled. "So, you're the one everyone fears." The beast snarled, circling her. Its claws dug into the earth. For a moment, it looked ready to strike, until she did something no one ever had. It sang. A soft, trembling hum at first, then words that floated like a lullaby through the forest. The melody drifted between them, strange and beautiful. The beast paused, head tilted, growl fading. Her heart pounded, but she didn't stop. She sang until the night wind softened and the forest seemed to listen too. Then she whispered, "You're not just a beast, are you?" The creature backed away, its glowing eyes dimming slightly. For a heartbeat, it looked almost human, pained, confused, and then it was gone. Amber ran home that night, breathless and shaken, but curious. She didn't tell anyone what happened, but the next night she went back. Torch in hand, she waited near the clearing where she had seen the beast. And sure enough, he came. Cautious, distant, silent. "I'm not here to hurt you," she said softly. "I just want to understand." The wolf's eyes glimmered. He circled her again, slower this time. When he came close enough, she reached out, not to touch, but to let him sense her calm. "I know you can hear me," she said. "Whoever you are, whatever you've become, I know there's still something good left inside." The beast growled softly, but didn't attack. That was the beginning. Night after night, Amber returned. Sometimes she brought food, sometimes she only sang. The villagers began to notice her late returns and whispered behind her back, calling her foolish, cursed, bewitched. But Amber didn't care. The beast had never harmed her. If anything, he protected her. Once, when she wandered too deep into the woods and a wild boar charged at her, the wolf appeared out of nowhere, lightning fast, tearing the creature down before it reached her. Amber stared in shock. The wolf turned to her, blood dripping from its jaws, but his eyes, those same gold eyes, softened at her sight. "You saved me," she whispered. "Why?" The beast only stared, then turned away. Amber's heart ached. "You can understand me, can't you?" A long silence. Then, almost as if in answer, the beast bowed his head. From that night, she began calling him Jack, not knowing it was truly his name. The bond between them grew, slowly, carefully, dangerously. When the villagers spoke of hunting the beast again, Amber begged them to stop. "He's not what you think he is," she told them. "He's not a monster." They laughed. "Then bring him here," they said. "Let him prove it." Amber turned away, her heart heavy. But there was one man who watched her with bitter eyes. Azura, the blacksmith's son. Strong, proud, and obsessed with Amber. He had asked for her hand once, and she refused. Since then, he'd hated the idea of her choosing anyone, especially a creature. He began to follow her, and one night he saw her with the beast, kneeling in the moonlight, feeding it from her hand, whispering softly, his blood boiled. "That's what's been taking our food," he muttered. "That's what she's protecting." He clenched his fist. "If she won't be mine, then I'll kill what keeps her from me." If you're still watching and want to see what happens when love defies darkness, hit that subscribe button and stay till the end. It's about to get intense. The next few nights passed quietly, but peace never lasts long where envy sleeps. Azora's eyes followed Amber through the market, through the paths that led to the woods, through the spaces between gossip and suspicion. He smiled when others were near, but his heart brewed something sharp. "Amber," he said one afternoon, pretending casual concern. "People say you wander too deep after dark. It isn't safe." She met his gaze, polite but distant. "I'm not afraid of the forest." "Maybe you should be," he replied, voice tightening. "You've changed lately. You look like someone keeping secrets." Amber turned away. Some secrets aren't dangerous. Some just need understanding. Azura forced a laugh, but it cracked halfway. When she walked off, his jaw clenched. Behind him, a friend whispered, "Forget her. Azura. She's lost." He stared toward the forest line. "No," he muttered. "She's been taken, and I'll get her back." That evening, clouds rolled over the moon. Amber moved carefully through the path. Lantern in hand, each step pressed soft into the wet earth. The air smelled of rain and pine. When she reached the clearing, the wolf was there already, watching her from the shadows. "You waited for me," she said with a gentle smile. "I thought you might not come after the storm." The beast tilted its head. The low rumble in its chest wasn't a threat anymore. It was a greeting. Amber sat on a fallen log and began to hum. The melody drifted through the clearing, a song her mother used to sing, about second chances, about hearts that found a way home. The beast edged closer, eyes glimmering faintly. She reached out, palm open. "Every time you come closer," she whispered, "I feel less afraid of the world." The wolf pressed its muzzle lightly into her hand. For the first time, she touched the warmth of its fur. A soft light flickered through the clouds. The moment felt infinite, until a snap echoed from the woods. The wolf's head jerked up, a low growl cutting through the air. Amber froze. "Who's there?" she called. No answer. A shadow moved between the trees. Azura stepped into the clearing, spear in hand, eyes wild. "So it's true," he said. "You're keeping company with that thing." "Azura, stop!" Amber rose quickly. "You don't understand." "I understand enough," he shouted. "It killed our men, our hunters, and you defend it? You feed it?" The wolf growled, placing itself between them. "Azura, please," Amber pleaded. "It's not a monster." He sneered. "Then what is it? Your pet?" Rain began to fall, light, cold, shimmering under the half-hidden moon. Amber shook her head. "He's cursed. He's suffering." Azura raised the spear. "Then I'll end his suffering." The wolf lunged, not at Azura, but to block his path. The spear struck the ground, sparks flying from the stone beneath. Azura stumbled back. The wolf's snarl echoed through the clearing, shaking the trees. Amber shouted, "Stop, both of you." She stepped between them, arms spread. "No one else needs to die." For a moment, everything held still. Rain hissed softly on the leaves. Azura's chest heaved. His eyes flickered between the beast and the woman he wanted to save, or own. "You're bewitched," he hissed. "That thing has you under its spell." "Maybe," Amber said, voice breaking, "but not the way you think." The beast growled again, but Amber turned, placing a trembling hand on its chest. "Please," she whispered to the creature, "don't fight him. Don't prove them right." The wolf looked down at her, confusion in its golden eyes. Behind them, Azura lifted his spear once more. The movement caught the wolf's attention. Instinct took over. It moved faster than thought, catching the weapon in its jaws and wrenching it aside. The shaft splintered, lightning flashing across the sky as thunder followed. Azura stumbled back, landing hard on the wet ground. The spear broke in half. He stared up at the towering silhouette of the beast, realization dawning. This wasn't just a creature. It was something that remembered being human. The wolf didn't strike. Instead, it turned its head toward Amber, a low, aching sound rising from its throat, a sound that almost formed her name. Amber stepped closer, tears mingling with the rain. "Jack," she whispered. The beast's ears twitched. "Is that who you are?" The wolf's gaze softened. For a fleeting second, the red gleam of the curse dimmed, leaving behind the faintest glimmer of humanity. Azura scrambled to his feet, terror written all over his face. He backed away slowly, muttering, "This isn't over. You'll see what happens when the village hears about this." He turned and vanished into the darkness, his footsteps swallowed by the rain. Amber remained there, chest heaving, the storm now pouring around them. The wolf lowered itself beside her, shivering, not from cold, but from the effort of fighting the beast within. "You're bleeding," she said, noticing a gash along its shoulder where the spear had grazed. "Let me help." She tore a piece of fabric from her sleeve and pressed it gently to the wound. The wolf winced but didn't move away. "You're not evil," she said softly. "You're hurt, you're scared, but you're still you." The creature blinked slowly, almost in agreement. They stayed like that until the storm faded and dawn began to tint the sky. Back in the village, Azura's words spread like wildfire. By morning, every household knew. Amber walks with the beast, they whispered. She's under a spell. Some wanted to burn the forest. Others wanted to catch her and save her. Amber heard the voices but refused to hide. She walked to her mother's hut, tears threatening to fall. "Mother," she said, "you always told me love can heal what curses destroy. Was that true?" Her mother studied her face, then nodded slowly. "True love," she said, "does not heal easily. It breaks before it mends." Amber understood. She turned and walked back toward the woods. The forest seemed darker that night, filled with distant echoes of anger from villagers forming a hunting party. She hurried, calling softly, "Jack, Jack, where are you?" The wolf appeared from behind the trees, limping slightly. When he saw her, he stopped, chest rising and falling. "They're coming," she said, breath trembling. "You have to hide." The wolf shook its head. "You don't understand," she insisted. "They'll kill you." He stepped closer and pressed his forehead against her shoulder. She felt his heartbeat, heavy and uneven. It wasn't the heartbeat of a monster. It was the heartbeat of a man trapped by his own mistakes. "Then we'll face them together," she whispered. A distant horn sounded. The hunt had begun. Amber's pulse raced. "No," she said urgently. "Go, please." The wolf turned toward the direction of the sound. His eyes burned brighter. He wasn't running anymore. He was ready to defend. "Jack!" Amber cried, grabbing his fur. "Don't." But he was gone, melting into the trees like a shadow. Amber ran after him, calling his name again and again. The forest erupted with shouts, the clash of steel, the desperate thunder of feet on wet soil. When she found him again, it was chaos. Torches flashed between the trees. Villagers swung spears and blades, but the wolf moved like lightning, disarming, pushing, never killing. He fought to protect, not to destroy. Then a spear flew from the darkness. Amber screamed, "No!" The weapon struck his side, shallow but deep enough to stagger him. He fell to one knee, growling in pain. The villagers hesitated, fear mixing with awe. Amber ran forward, shielding him with her body. "Stop, please," she cried. "He's not your enemy." Silence, rain, smoke. Then Azura's voice rose from the back. "You'll die with him if you stand there." Amber looked up, tears streaking her face. "Then so be it." The villagers faltered. The storm above broke again, thunder rolling like a warning from the heavens. If you're still here and your heart's racing, don't leave yet. What happens next will change everything. Tap like, subscribe, and stay till the end. The curse is about to break. The forest burned with light. Torches flickered, lightning split the sky, and in the center of it all, Amber knelt beside the fallen wolf. His breaths came shallow, eyes fading from gold to grey. The villagers hung back, unable to move or speak. She cradled his head in her arms. "Jack, please," she whispered, voice breaking. "You have to fight it. You're not the beast they see." The wolf blinked, slow and heavy. The sound he made wasn't a growl anymore. It was almost a sigh. Amber's tears fell onto his fur. "Don't leave me. You've already lost so much because of this curse. Let my love be enough to end it." A shimmer ran through the air. The ground pulsed faintly beneath them, like a heartbeat. The clouds parted, and for the first time in years, the moon shone pure silver instead of red. The villagers gasped. Light poured over the clearing, wrapping the two figures in a pale glow. The beast's shape wavered, its fur dissolving into the air like smoke drawn toward the moon. Amber felt the weight in her arms shift. When the light dimmed, a man lay there instead, bruised, breath ragged but human. Jack. His eyes opened slowly, the gold replaced by deep brown. "Amber?" he whispered, voice hoarse. She smiled through her tears. You came back. He reached up, brushing her cheek with trembling fingers. You sang to me, he murmured. Even when I couldn't remember my own name, I remembered your voice. The villagers stood frozen, unsure whether to kneel or flee. The oldest among them finally stepped forward. The curse, he said softly. It's broken. Jack tried to rise, but Amber held him gently. Rest, she said. The curse took years from you. Let the dawn give them back. Azura lowered his weapon, shame heavy on his face. He turned and slipped quietly into the trees, his shadow vanishing without a word. As the sun crept over the horizon, lights peeled through the forest, washing away the fear that had haunted it for generations. Days later, they buried the broken weapons near the stream and built a small shrine in memory of the king's victims, so the land would remember but not repeat its pain. Jack healed slowly, but his eyes carried the memory of every night he'd lost. Amber stayed by his side, her laughter and songs filling the house that had once known only silence. When the moon turned full again, the villagers gathered nervously, expecting the old howl of the beast. Instead, they heard a song, Amber's song, rising from the edge of the forest, joined by a man's low hum. They smiled. The curse had truly ended, and so the legend changed. People still tell of the Imadu stream, but now they say it once held a beast who learned to love and a woman brave enough to believe he could. If you felt something in this story, if you believed even for a moment that love can turn monsters back into men, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more tales like this one. Until next time, keep your heart open and beware the moonlight.